Aubrey, I just want to make sure that you can hear us.
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right. I'd like to call to order the April 23rd Long Hill Township meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk.
Committeeman Lavender,
Present.
Committeewoman Reichert-Eline,
Present, and I will be in person in less than 10 minutes, hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you.
Committeeman Verleza,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Paserchia.
Present.
Mayor Dorsey.
I'm here. All right, so let's start off. We have some of the students from school that came because they submitted stuff to the state fire calendar, and I'm going to turn the meeting over to our fire marshal, Don Huber. Don? Just get the mic from Megan.
We'll do this right from here if it's okay.
Well, you get the mic, though.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Mayor Dorsey, distinguished members of the Township Committee, Administrator Barr. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. I appreciate the Township Committee allowing me this opportunity to present some very special awards. As you heard, my name is Don Huber. I'm honored to be your fire marshal. I'm particularly honored tonight to be able to present these awards, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute, and I'm going to bring up our award winners. But I do want to just say a little bit about what this program is about. What kind of awards are this? And I will be brief. So back in 1938, okay, not really. Let's just making sure they're paying attention. So the New Jersey State Division of Fire Safety, which is in the Department of Community Affairs, has an annual poster contest. It's a calendar. This is the 2025 version. There's some up here if anybody wants one on your way out. And what this calendar is the product of artwork from students around the state. And I emphasize around the state because it's a lot of students. And the locals get involved with the schools, with the cooperation of our superintendent, our administrators, our principals, the teachers, and we engage in a program where the students submit fire safety posters. And there's a theme every year. It might be smoke alarms, or it might be kitchen fires, or have an exit plan to get out of your home in case of a fire. There's always a theme. And then the students submit their posters to the local judges, which happen to be our fire companies. And I'll just put in a word very quickly for them. If it wasn't for our fire companies, we wouldn't even have this program off the ground, because they really get involved. They get engaged with the school. One gentleman in particular, I'd be remiss not to mention. He's a long-term friend of mine, Milburn firefighter, but he's also a Sterling firefighter, Jeff Wanamaker, who really gets his teeth into this. And without his help, I doubt we would be as successful as we were. So none of those guys are here, but I hope that you appreciate their service, because without them on a lot of levels, this municipality would have to face a lot of things that, thanks to their service, we don't have to deal with. So we put this program together. The students submit their artwork. The artwork is judged on a local level. Certain, they're all the artwork is great, but the ones that are chosen as the winners go to the county. They get judged by county judges, and then they go to the state. Once they go to the state, if they succeed at that level, the top 12 get put into this calendar. And that's a pretty big honor, because when you think about how competitive that is, to get to the state level is quite an achievement. Quite honestly, even the local level is quite an achievement. And while we appreciate all of the poster submissions, we want to pay special recognition to our local winners tonight, as well as one of our state winners. So what I would like to do right now is call up the award winners, and hopefully if you're here, come forward. If you're not here, you don't have to come forward, but we'll catch up with you later. Let's start with our Millington School winners, Ariel M. Hi, Ariel. Come on up. Why don't you stand right here, dear, okay? Thank you. Ewan McLennan. How you doing, Yoon? Good to see you, buddy. Okay, Gabby Russo. Gabby, you're not here? Okay, we'll catch up with you, no problem. Okay, Central School. We have Addison Wanamaker. Hi, Addison. Yeah, I know your dad really wanted to be here tonight. We're going to take some good pictures. Mira Lau. Angela Yang. Dylan Herring. Okay, I think that's our local winners. Is Asa Chang here tonight? Okay, all right, very good. So, as I said, these are our local winners, and what we are going to do right now, I may have to put this down. But I can talk pretty loudly. I think I can do this. We have some presentations we'd like to make. And these are, again, on behalf of the Township Committee, and thank you for the honor of letting me present these on your behalf. We have some Amazon gift cards we'd like to present to you. So, Ariel, that's for you, my dear.
Here, we're gonna take a nice picture,
Okay.
Don, with
Okay.
Ariel and the mayor. So if you wanna do
Oh,
one and then the other,
However you want to do it.
yeah, let's do ones, and then we'll do one all together.
Okay.
Perfect.
Come up.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stay up here, we're gonna take a group shot at the end, okay?
How do you say it? Ewan. Ewan. Sorry.
Don't cover your face. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Very nice.
Okay, Addison. Thank you. Connor, over here with the mayor, please. I got Addison right.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Very nice. And then we're going to get one all together. You're Ready? 1, 2, 3. Nice job. Thank you, guys.
Gentlemen, again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Great night. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. Last word, this, fire safety is really everybody's responsibility, but it's great when the township committee will get behind the schools, will get behind the fire marshal's office and the emergency responders and help us get that message out, because it really is something that we all need to heed. And I gotta tell you, I've been doing this for almost 50 years, different things in the fire service, but the fire prevention message is really the best way to prevent fires in the home, in the workplace, and everywhere else. So we really appreciate your support of this program and fire prevention message throughout the state. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you, Don.
All right. So you want to do this or not? Okay. The next thing is another presentation, but I don't see Mrs. Jeans here. Is anybody here from the Shade Tree Commission? All right.
Aubrey's on.
That's all right. I'll read the proclamation. All right. So it's a proclamation for Arbor Day. It says, in 1872, the Nebraska Board of Agriculture established a special day to set aside for planting trees. They called it Arbor Day. It's now observed throughout the nation and the world. Trees can be a solution to combating climate change by reducing erosion of our soil, by wind and water, cutting, heating and cooling costs, moderating the temperature, cleaning the air, producing life-giving oxygen, and providing a habitat for wildlife. Trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And trees in our community increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And wherever they are planted, they are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. So therefore, I declare Long Hill Township do hereby proclaim Friday, which is this Friday, April 25th, as Arbor Day. And I encourage all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and support the efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Don't need to. All right. So the next order of business, I can assume why most people are here. So we're going to jump the schedule a little bit. So it's on for discussion item, I believe, and I could be wrong. Most of you are here to talk about the commercial vehicles. Some of you may have got letters, some of you didn't. So I will let everybody speak, or who wants to speak, get 3 minutes. However, I'm just going to tell you up front, this is the plan going forward, at least temporarily. There's going to be no summonses issued anytime soon. There's no more letters going out. What we are doing is we are sending it to the planning board to get their feedback because they just passed the master plan, and this ordinance, I believe, is 30 years old. So we want to get feedback from the planning board as we do other ordinances to see how this fits into the new master plan. They'll come back with some suggestions, maybe, maybe not, and then from there, then we'll go forward. But until that happens, there's going to be no summonses issued, there's going to be no more letters going out, and we'll try to just keep the status quo for now, but don't go parking garbage trucks in your front yard.
Mr. Mayor, if I could
Go ahead.
respectfully just interject one
go ahead.
thing. I think this body, you've served on the Board of Adjustment, Scott currently serves, we've all served on the
Yes.
Planning Board of the Board of Adjustment. Attorney Counsel Pigeon is a land use attorney. Maybe we can wordsmith a little bit and send something to the planning board. My point is, I don't want anybody here to think this is proceeding. I've lived in town for 31 years. I've never received a complaint about a vehicle being parked in someone's driveway. And some of you are out there have done fabulous work where we live. So I don't see it as an issue. It's an issue because the current ordinance says it's an issue, but not because it, in practicality, has been an issue. I hope I was sufficiently obtuse there. So I do think it needs to be worded differently. Otherwise, those letters are in fact just following what the ordinance appears to say.
That's what it
Even the
says.
ordinances themselves are a little bit confusing. So, so anyway, I'm actually asking you, Mr. Mayor, and everybody else, is it something we can ask Jack to wordsmith the current ordinance a little bit to what we think reality is, not
Let
what...
it go to the
And
planning board first.
I don't know, I'm asking.
But I think we should hear from
Yeah, we're
from
gonna hear from the
everybody's here,
public.
because I think this, what I'm hoping for is an open dialogue, an open conversation. Let's hear what you have to say, and we could all talk about it and see what would be fair to people who want to park a commercial vehicle on their property, and what's fair as far as, keeping up with with a certain look in your neighborhood where it doesn't start to look like a commercial parking lot. And, and listen, most of you guys out here are my friends, so the last thing I want to do is lose any friends and come across the wrong way. So I say this respectfully, but I think that we need to come to a happy medium because conversely to Guy Paserchia, I do hear some complaints about the commercial vehicles. And it's not necessarily it actually really isn't for the one commercial vehicle parked in someone's driveway. Someone's on call, they have one commercial vehicle that they go back and forth to, for work with. We're not talking about a large, roto-rooter truck. We're talking about, a Ford truck or a van, that kind of thing. That's not the complaint. But the complaint does, what I do hear, and where I do agree, is when there's more than one commercial vehicle parked on a residential property in a residential neighborhood, and especially if those vehicles are parked in the street. So I'd like to, again, that's how I feel. I'm from Sterling. I know a lot of people are probably from Sterling. I'm not looking to alienate anybody, but I would certainly like to discuss that. So,
Respectfully, there's a different, no offense, Vic, there's a difference between your Sterling and lower Sterling where I'm from, but that's the way it is.
yes.
So if anybody wants to come up, you have 3 minutes. Mr. Licata? Come on up.
Mayor, committee, thank you for this opportunity to come speak to you. I am Al Licata. I'm the president of the Berners Township Regional Chamber of Commerce. We have many members here in your town. We run programming here in town regularly. I also state for the record that I'm the former mayor of Berners Township and also the former head of the New Jersey Mayors Association. I'd like to talk about the parking. It's not an ordinance up for discussion right now, so I'm not going to ask you to table it. But what I am going to ask is a favor. You do have an ordinance that prohibits multiple vehicles and the large vehicles on people's residential properties, the trailers, the dump trucks, and all those things. That's fine. We have no objection with that whatsoever. That keeps the integrity of the community intact. What we have an issue with is your zoning officer not going before you first and telling you that there could be some ambiguity with your zoning law that's maybe a little outdated and could use some wordsmithing, as the honorable committeeman mentioned earlier. You have to look at the. As a young kid, I lived in Millington, up by the Five Corners, up by the Episcopal Church. I can't remember a time when there wasn't a blue-collar truck on that street, maybe several or maybe even more. Growing up in sports, these guys would come home from work and they'd be the ones that were coaching my sports teams and so on. So what we're doing is we're talking about home-based businesses where these vehicles are second vehicles to these families. Whether they got to go answer the call in the middle of the night for pest control, or you got a plumbing issue or a heating issue, especially in the middle of winter, or when Sandy comes and everybody needs you around the clock. We're not looking to overreach. What we're trying to do is say the character of Long Hill has always been one of blue-collar flavor. Look, I'm going to tell you how old I am. I used to go to Orphan Annie's. It was a great time, you know, even before I was late. I loved Annie. But you know, the flavor of the town is the flavor of the town. Over the time, more people have moved in. You've got a great assortment of housing here in the area. I know, as all towns do, and as the former head of the Mayors Association, we are constantly fighting with affordable housing. But in this one area, I think we could come together and wordsmith your existing ordinance to make it more palatable and more clear for your zoning officials, at the same time giving a lot of relief to a lot of these people in this room. I sat out in the hallway before I came in tonight. All of them were echoing the same concern. They've been here 10, 20, 30 years. My uncle owned a barber shop here in town 40, 50 years ago. We used to laugh at him when he put the letters on the car about his barber shop, you know, but, you know, that's what kids do. But that's the flavor. That's blue-collar town, man. You got to accept it. And you got to make sure that these people are protected. They're obeying the law. They're not putting all of their vehicles on their property. Maybe some overreach, and that's why you have a zoning officer, and that's why you do enforce the code. But I would like to make my services available to you. I believe the Mayors Association, we did address this issue, home-based businesses, some years ago. I would work, if you appointed a subcommittee, I would be glad to work with Mr. Pigeon, who I know is a very capable planning attorney, to help wordsmith and anyone else who you deem worthy to work with on this project, to do it in a voluntary way to help ease the tensions of the town, create an environment where people can use that second car. Look, people just got out of COVID, 4 years of a disastrous economy. Prices are exploding. You can't ask these people to park their car somewhere else and pay for that service again. That's an added expense to small business owners that they just can't handle right now. On top of that, you know, fuel costs. And what are they going to do? Uber to their car at the parking lot? I'm telling you, you know your people, like I knew mine in town. They work for a living. They work hard. These cars aren't at their homes during the day. They're a home-based business. But the plumber is out plumbing. The carpenter is out doing woodwork. The painter is out working all day. That car's not in the driveway. It's not creating the eyesore that some people would like to overreach on. Do some people have an issue with it? Look, as elected officials, we all know we can't please everybody. So we try to do our best. But I do come here today to ask you to maybe take into consideration my offer to work with you, to tailor a piece of legislation that you can send to your planning board that's consistent with your existing master plan, ease the tensions of the town, and move forward amicably. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, very good.
Anyone else? Wow.
That's a tough act to follow.
Here's Roy.
Roy, come on up.
Roy Russin, 40 Milton Avenue in Gillette. And I'd like to thank Al for mentioning the pest control guy that goes out in the middle of the night for a yellow jacket nest that falls through the ceiling, raccoon coming down the chimney. All sorts of crazy things happen in this business at night. I'm 24/7. And I keep my truck very nice. It's 126 feet back off the street. No one could really even see it. And it's in a gully, so you could just see the top. I also planted, for this reason, some evergreen shrubs around the back of my driveway, along with a white picket fence to not hide it, but, make it more pleasing to the eye. And it's not an ugly truck at all, but I'm regulated by the DEP also to keep labels on it. And I think that was an issue that came up, here. And they have to be a certain size, a certain height, yada, yada, yada. So I do keep this truck there. And like Al said, all day it's out, 6 days a week. I'm working it. So I just wanted to make that point. And I don't run a junkyard. My house is immaculate. Everything is manicured to a T. That's my point. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for seeing me. Appreciate
No, thank you.
Yeah, I am. Should be out there.
Evening, Frank Liberato, Heritage Road. In regards to this topic, having grown up in town, I concur what the two previous speakers had said, and also being a small business owner myself, I understand the difficulties with that. I have a question regarding, all the data that was collected on this and how everyone was identified as far as, the business owners that got notices. What are the hours for the zoning officer? Is he just during the week, daytime?
Yeah, it's part-time during the daytime hours.
Okay, so it's like a couple days a week?
5 days a week.
Oh, he is 5 days a week, okay. Because most of these vehicles, I would assume, as the other gentleman said, are, not in the driveway during the day, so I'm just wondering, was the data collected using the police department also, since they're out on the road all the time, to collect the information for the letters that went out?
We had set up a meeting with people that would be involved in this ordinance, and I'll address a comment that was said earlier that somebody's disappointed in that the code enforcement officer, in our case, not the zoning officer, hadn't informed the committee of this ordinance and the consequences in this ordinance. We fully had that meeting. And the police department was involved in this. We tried to emphasize that maybe we should look at this ordinance before taking action. It was decided that we should move ahead.
Oh, so the direction came from the committee to move ahead that was handling that? Is that what you're saying? I'm just trying to follow you.
It was directed to me to move ahead.
Okay, so you report to the governing body, so then I would assume that's where it came from. I'm just surprised that you got the police department's, doing that also. I mean, there's other things they need to tend to. I think the zoning officer, if this is his area, really should be kept to him. But I guess my other question is, in regards to the commercial vehicles and tweaking it, Mr. Pigeon, maybe it could be tailored, to, Mr. Velez's concern about the size of vehicle, maybe a GVW class, vehicles under 20,000 pounds or something like that, because I didn't read the ordinance completely, but are there exemptions in the ordinance, say, for utility companies, like if somebody from PSE&G or JCP&L or Verizon is on call and takes a truck home, are they going to get caught up in this ordinance being enforced?
There is not, Frank. And I've traced this ordinance back to at least 1991, but it was adopted before then. That's just the earliest page I have in the old code book.
Okay.
It was in 1991.
So technically, per the ordinance, everybody's in violation, even the utility.
That's correct.
So even at the fire department or first aid, if we're taking a lettered vehicle home to be on call, You're saying there's no exemption even for the police or fire?
That's right. And if the committee decides to go ahead and revise it,
Yeah,
that's the direction we would go, is that.
That would be my
the weight
concern
limit,
too, is I
under
think
a certain weight
the
limit.
wordsmith, as they said previously, I think is the focus.
I think we'd probably start from scratch.
Yeah, I would think so, because especially with the amount of small businesses in the community, and some people, that is their only means of transportation, is compensation from work. You know, even the water company, you see the water company, people take their cars home, you know, and they have to be on call. So I think we have to be very careful, you know, and obviously, you're not going to make everybody happy, but I think it's going to need some due diligence, and I appreciate you not sending more letters and summonses until this gets sorted out, because it's concerning, you know, and I also think we got a lot of other issues still to work on here, and I don't think this is, you know, something that's, you know, got to get fixed immediately. I would just leave the status quo for now, and when you do your due diligence to figure it out, I think I would just open it up to the public, because as you see, this is just a small portion of residents that live here, that work out of their homes, you know, and they're not all big companies, you know, they're little companies, and right now, you know, we need to help everybody and not, you know, add more to their plate.
I think, thank you, Frank. I think the majority of us in this room would agree. One commercial vehicle parked in your, far back in your driveway or in your garage if you can. If you don't have a garage, if you only have if you don't have the ability to park it behind your house, then fine. Then you get
Yeah, you don't want 6 vehicles parked
but,
there, I get
but
that.
there's vehicles with trailers. There's people that have multiple vehicles parked on one property, and I think that's the type of thing we're
Right, and
trying
I think
to
the other
avoid.
gentleman said there's a separate ordinance to handle that, so I think that would be code enforcement, not police, right? That'd be code enforcement,
That's right.
not have them going around chasing that. But I think I agree with you. I think if it gets tailored properly, and you take the input and seeing with the residents, I think you can arrive at something that will work best for
I agree,
everyone.
Frank, but to one point, I want to be clear with the mayor, or maybe it's really Randy. There's a difference between a letter and a summons. I don't think any summons is.
No summons.
I just want to be clear.
So it's
No
kinda like a
summonses,
warning.
Nobody was
Correct.
fined.
It's like a warning.
I honestly didn't see the letter.
But also, that's, I was just actually just gonna bring it up while we're talking about it. It was a certified letter that was sent, correct?
No.
Okay.
It's just a
Yes.
It was,
Yes, it
it's
was.
a, it's
And
a, it's a
then-
violation of a code. That's
Okay,
what the letter
and
is.
then, does that normally is that normally notified to the committee? And maybe
No.
we were notified, and that's not something that we would normally have visibility to? Like if something like that was going out to all businesses in the town?
If something was going out to all the businesses in the town, you would probably
Okay,
get
no,
a-
that's, I wasn't
You
saying
would
that this
probably be
was,
aware
I
of
was just
that.
asking, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, if it's a
And then-
one-off, they don't know what they do.
Okay.
We don't know police issue tickets either, so.
Fair, just trying to understand the process. And then, question, do we have a list, I'm assuming, of all businesses that are licensed, that are, I guess, registered here in Long Hill?
Well, they're not necessarily, business is not
Right,
necessarily
that's- yeah.
registered here. The business
Okay,
may
it's
be
just
in
their
another
vehicle
town,
is
but they
here.
park their vehicle
Okay,
here
because I was just
overnight.
thinking,
Right,
to
like
your
if
point,
I
how
give-
they figured that
Right,
out.
if I give an employee a pickup truck to take home, and it says my company name on the side to go to
But it might
work.
be from South Orange or wherever.
Right, so my company's in Kenilworth, but they could live here, so that would be kind of hard to trace. But like I said, I figured they were doing their due diligence after hours to figure out who had vehicles in their driveway, because obviously we're all at work during the day, so. All right, but thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Frank.
Good evening, committee. Hi, Paul White, 25 Doherty Ave, Gillette. Like I say, this doesn't affect me directly. Of course, I heard about it through my neighbors who have a lot of commercial vehicles, have small businesses, they live in the neighborhood, and they actually help a lot of people in my neighborhood. I had an incident one night myself. There's a plumber in my neighborhood. He actually didn't get a letter, though, but he's a plumber in my neighborhood. My water heater went out. I called up, it was great. He hopped in his van, he was over there in 2 minutes. If he had to park someplace else where there's no more parking, there really is no more parking for these guys anymore. Berkeley Heights, a lot of the guys did park their vehicles there, and they shut down that for the commercial parking. These guys would probably have to park all the way in Plainfield or whatever. You have to wait 2-3 hours to get a service call. It obviously sounds like you guys are all willing to work this out and rewrite the ordinance, which would be great. That's pretty much why I came here tonight, hoping that would be enforced. That you guys would, rewrite it and help out my neighbors here. That's about it. And I hope, we can all work this out and everybody will be able to
Thank
park
you.
in the driveway.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Anyone else? Come on up, man.
Hi. Thank you very much. My name is Nora Basilian. I live on Essex Street in Sterling, and I am a small business owner. I want to say first, thank you so much for taking a step back on this, taking time to consider the input that you're getting before you make a final decision. Mayor Dorsey, I appreciate your comments about living in a different Sterling. It is the Sterling I grew up in and have lived here most of my life, other than 20 years elsewhere. I hope that you realize, first of all, this doesn't impact me the same way it does other people. I have a commercial spot that I rent, and my trucks can be parked there, so that's fine. But I hope that you realize the optics on this. It seems kind of discriminatory, or it can be taken that way. You're talking about people who work. They carry a tool bag. They dress in work clothes. They're not dressing in suits and ties. They're not attorneys. They're not planners, whatever the case may be. And this rule discriminates against those people. It puts a burden on them that the guy who hops on a train into New York, well, maybe that's not a good comparison, but this guy who works with his hands and maybe makes $20 an hour, now you're telling him you need to find a place to park your truck and pay to do that. And then you need to have a means of transportation back and forth to the truck every day, which he may not have, or she may not have. I should be sure I say she also, as I'm standing up here. And I just think it's very unfair. I think that taking the weight class of the vehicle into consideration is probably the thing that should be at the top of the list, because that eliminates the trailers. It eliminates somebody parking a dump truck at their house or something else. You start with that and work from there. As someone else said, if you have a commercially registered vehicle, by law, it has to be lettered. So we can't say, okay, well, I'll have a commercial plate, but I won't letter my truck. Then we get pulled over, we get tickets, we get summonses, and that's another expense. I just think that this, first of all, this ordinance, as you've said, has been on the books 40, 50 years, 30, 40 years. It has never been enforced. That sets a precedent. Now, all of a sudden, we're going to enforce it and put this burden on people at a time when small businesses are struggling. So I agree that we need to take a step back, look at the ordinance and say, how can we make this work for the most people? No one's going to be 100% happy. That's okay. Compromise is what it's all about. That's what we need to do. So I appreciate if you will do that, and hopefully we'll come to a conclusion that helps most people.
Thank you. I can assure you that there's no discrimination of any kind here or targeting. Even though you might feel that way, I promise you. And speaking
I'm
for
saying
myself,
those are the optics.
Yes.
Those are the optics.
My father was a plumber by trade, a retired police officer,
Yep.
but a plumber by trade. I was a plumber's apprentice growing up. So please, if I came across the wrong way, it was...
No, not at all.
It was not intended
I think
to
that when this
be that
ordinance
way.
was drawn up, it was a different time, right? And things have changed, and I think the ordinance needs to adapt.
I think, but from what I'm hearing, I think the vast majority of us are in agreement here.
Good.
That's what I'm getting. I think we all have an issue with it being a certain size truck. Nobody wants to see it be a trailer attached.
Right.
If it's one vehicle parked is in your driveway, if you're in your driveway or in your garage, great.
Right.
We want to avoid multiple vehicles on the streets, vehicles with trailers.
And that's reasonable,
And
I
I think
think.
that we're all pretty much on the same page there.
And that's good to hear. And I hope that you're all willing to work with the community and the business owners, because I see a work truck in front of somebody's house or in their driveway or whatever, and I think, hey, that person is employed. They have a job, good for them. They're making a living, they're supporting their household, whatever that may be. And if they are the business owner, even more, good for them. They have a successful small business, which is getting harder and harder to do every single day. And I've been in business for 23 years. I hope to see other people be able to reach that same milestone and do it successfully. So thanks again.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the audience on this topic only?
Yeah, I'd like to say a few things.
Go ahead. Well,
Chuck, come on.
is there anybody online, by the way? Okay, so we'll do Chuck, 2 people online, then you, then we'll move on.
Charles Arana, West Millington. 2 topics related to this issue. you, as a township committee, need to take the necessary steps to ensure something like this doesn't happen again and get the residents upset like the people behind me. Whatever action that is, you need to take it. Number two, from my experience serving on the planning board and working with our professionals, I've told our professionals many times, your job is to advise us what we need to work on, what we need to change, because we're not aware of these things. So my second point is, if we have outdated ordinances, who should be accountable for notifying of that? We have a number of professionals that we pay a lot of money to, and we get in situations like this. So who's ever professional is responsible for these ordinances that are 30, 40, 50 years outdated, they need to get corrected now. And you need to take accountability and responsibility for that. And don't sit there and agree with all the residences. Take the action to stop this and correct the ordinances. Thank you for your time and looking forward to seeing your actions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Online. What do we got on the internet?
Anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone, Mayor.
Thank you, Scott. You had something to say on this, then we'll move on.
So in the master plan, Sterling Village is referred to as a workman's village. And the workmen are here. And no one ever complained about this in the past. And I don't understand why any complaint was raised now. Me, myself, I'm ashamed if this committee has put any kind of burden on your back. And we're going to fix this. I didn't know this was happening. I went through and I looked at these ordinances. This ordinance is ridiculous. If you have an F-Ford 250, it's a commercial vehicle. Really? Even if you're a private citizen and using it for fishing, it's a commercial vehicle, according to the ordinance. Has to be fixed. Gross vehicle weight. Yeah, we all agree. We don't want dump trucks and backhoes. But that's not what we have. You guys are smart enough. You know that. So we have to make it a priority to fix this. And quite frankly, the stuff in here about the signage on the trucks is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Of course they're going to have signs in their trucks. Of course.
By law.
By law. So every once in a while, these kind of things come out of the woodwork and completely surprise us. And we're sorry that you had to take the brunt of this, but we're going to fix it. So I just want to leave you with that. Sleep easy tonight.
I also, can I add on to that? Like,
No,
thank you,
let them
Scott, for
clap
saying
first.
that. Oh,
I
yeah,
want
sorry,
some
clap
applause.
first.
Show me some love.
Sorry, I was trying to.
He's starved for attention.
Thank you, Scott. Good job. I also want to add on to that, and I am sorry, and I'm thankful that everyone came out to speak, and I know some had spoken, at least to me, prior to this meeting also, and it takes effort to do that, so I appreciate that, and I'd love to see more voices coming up on this topic and any topics as we go forward. So I just want to thank everybody that came and spoke tonight or other ways. Thank you for that. I also believe it's important. I feel that because people came to speak to me, there were certain things that I didn't even know about, and I think this committee will attest that I read everything up here. So, but there were certain parts of it, like the certified letter part, or things like that, that I didn't even know was occurring, and I was a little disappointed in that. So I would like to identify, you know, not right here, but how we navigate better communication across the board, because some of this probably could have been prevented ahead of time. So that's something that I will work on, and these guys know I will work on it because it goes on my little iPad list, and then I just keep asking. And you'll ignore it, and then I'll keep asking.
All right, well, thank you, everybody, for coming. This is how things are supposed to work. We're going to refer this to the planning board. They'll probably get it back to us, hopefully before the next meeting, and we'll have some better news for everybody. So thank you all for coming. Thank you for your input. Thank you for being prepared and having a normal conversation. Everybody got along well, so that's how it's supposed to work. So if you want to stay for the rest, be my guest. Otherwise, you're excused.
Thank you.
No, no.
Can I go too?
We'll be quick, I hope.
Take me with you.
All right.
You too, thank you.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. All right, moving along. Here we go. You ready, Megan? Ordinance 568-25. Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Ignore it for now. Yes. Nothing. You're not going to get any summons issued. You're okay. Thank you for asking. All right. Pacone. Get Pacone out, please.
Get the what?
Peppy, get him out, please. Thank you.
The one with his back to us?
All right. All right. We're heading back to the agenda because I got stuff to do.
All right.
Ordinance 568-25. First reading introduction, amending Chapter 17 of Fire Prevention. Jack, you should explain that to us briefly.
Yeah, Don Huber, our fire official, just cleaned up the ordinance with some language changes.
Okay. So I ask for a motion to move this for
So
a...
moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Second.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Committeeman Lavender?
Yes.
Committeewoman Reichert-Align?
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza?
yes.
Deputy Mayor Paserchia?
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey?
Yes. Next, 565-25, second reading for adoption. This is an example of something we sent to the planning board for revision, and it came back, correct? Oh,
They submitted a letter to the municipal clerk. Dear Ms. Phillips and Township Committee, in accordance with sections 171.8.f of the Township Ordinance, the Planning Board has reviewed the proposed ordinances 565-25 and 566-25 and voted at the April 8, 2024 meeting that they are not inconsistent with the master plan.
all right. So, Jack, so anything, should we have a public hearing? I'm going to open the meeting to the public. Anybody who wants to speak about the fence ordinance, come on up.
Hey, Matt?
Yes.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
And
You were there.
really, it's on behalf of the planning board.
Yeah, that's fine.
And so there was one catch last night. It doesn't change this letter, and it has to do with the pool fences, which is D3. Private residential swimming pool shall be constructed surrounded by a fence at least 54 inches in height, but no more than 6 feet in height with a self-latching gate. What they want to do is to substitute in conformance with the Universal Construction Code, the UCC, right, which is a state thing, so that we're not freewheeling on our own and potentially in conflict with that.
No, I think for liability issues, you have to be consistent with the UCC, otherwise
Right.
something happens,
So
we're
we're
in trouble.
taking out the specific references to 54 inches and 6 feet.
Correct.
So we're just saying a private residential swimming pool should be surrounded by a fence that conforms to the Uniform Construction Code.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
with a
think
self-latching gate.
With a self-latching gate. I think we can make that change.
On the
and
fly.
adopt tonight.
Yep, okay, good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
because the UCC has those height requirements in place right now.
All right.
so
Right.
it's
But
it's
if
no-
they
it's
change
still
it-
no-
changes-
We
If they
don't know
change it-
change currently, so.
Yeah.
We don't, but if UCC does, we're still in
Yep,
compliance.
Exactly.
absolutely, makes sense.
All right. Anybody from the public want to speak on this exciting topic?
Can we make,
Oh.
can we make a request that if the planning board does have a edit to the ordinances that are going for master plan consistency review, that it's included in the letters that come back to us, just so that everyone has visibility on it prior to the township committee meeting?
And quite honestly, it should, nothing against you, Mr. Lavender, but, you're only one member of the planning board.
Yeah.
So it should come from either the attorney or the secretary to the
Yeah.
board. So just for future reference.
We talked about this with Steve yesterday, and he recommended this, Pat.
Okay.
Tom is here, he can talk to it as well, if he wants.
No,
I don't know.
no need, Tom. We believe that's accurate.
It's not a controversial change.
No. Anybody from the public want to speak on the fence ordinance? No. Anybody online?
Anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand. I don't see anyone.
Motion to approve ordinance 565-25, second reading.
Second.
Committeeman Lavender?
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Line,
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pasurcia,
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey.
Yes. All right, next, 566-25, second reading for adoption. Change the land use ordinance regarding ground and wall signs pertaining to residential home office uses. Let's see, the Township Committee received the ordinance from the Planning Board, went back to Planning for Master Plan, consistency review, and I assume that they're cool with it, or?
It's the
Can I
same
ask Jack,
language.
what was tweaked again?
The size of the
Size,
signs for home
okay.
offices, I think it went from 8 square feet to 4 square feet, I think.
Okay.
That's the max though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and Scott, obviously, the Planning Board talked about this at some point in time?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so.
This
any-
originated from the planning
Oh,
board.
it started there.
From the planning board,
Okay.
that's correct.
So anybody in the public wants to comment about the new residential sign uses? Anybody online?
Anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand now. Don't see anyone, Mayor.
Motion to approve ordinance 566-25, second reading.
Second.
Just before you vote, it's reducing from 4 square feet to 2 square feet.
Okay, so what?
Say that again, Jack?
It's reducing it from 4 square feet.
I
to
thought
2
it was
square
4,
feet.
that's what
Yeah,
confused me.
yeah,
All right.
No, I knew when I said it, I was wrong.
All right.
Committeeman Lavender?
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Line?
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pasurcia,
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey.
Yes. And the final one is ordinance 567-25, limiting the position of Public Safety Director and amending the code, the administrative code. Anybody in the public want to discuss this? No. Online?
Anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone, Mayor.
Motion to approve ordinance 567-25, second reading.
Second.
Like the efficiency.
Committeeman Lavender?
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Line?
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pasurcia?
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey.
Yes. All right, consent agenda resolutions. Anybody have anything in here that they need to abstain from or want to discuss? Is this on the agenda, Megan?
No, we need to add a banner approval for the Mental Health Awareness Month for May.
Okay, it's 25-127. We're adding to have a banner hung basically where the street fair one is hung right now.
Correct.
Got it. All right, aside from that, we're good to go. So can I have a motion to pass these, whatever, 10 items?
117 to 127.
So moved, as Megan stated.
Wait,
Second.
Is anybody recusing themselves from it?
I am, because
For mental
I'm,
health?
yeah, well, yes, for my mental health, no. I'm involved in helping to get that through, so no, I cannot, I'm not gonna vote.
For Resolution 127.
Right.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Pasurcia, you moved it.
Second.
Yes.
Committeeman Lavender?
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Line?
Abstaining. We're not abstaining.
Just the one, but everything else you're-
Correct, sorry, so, yes?
Yep. Committeeman Verleza?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pasurcia?
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey?
Yes. All right, now we have committee reports. We'll start on the right this time because they have usually less to say. Scott, you got anything?
Yeah, I'll give something from Board of Health. There is going to be a diabetes prevention and detection management presentation Monday, May 12th at 5:40 PM at the Bernards Township Library at 32 South Maple Avenue, Basking Ridge. Silpa Gadiraju, MD, an endocrinologist from Summit Health, is going to provide an informative session focused on understanding diabetes, what it is, who's at risk, and how to take control. You'll learn about key risk factors, practical prevention strategies, early detection methods, and effective ways to manage the condition. There's a flyer that's going to be up on the website in our Board of Health section. You can go there and register, but I would encourage anybody who has an interest in this. It's probably one of the biggest health crises in the country.
And thank you for mentioning the website, sorry, just to jump in, because
Yeah.
I think our website links to all of these different offerings, like the one that
Yes.
Scott mentioned, and there's a bunch of others that are on there, so I really would advise or offer to the community to take advantage of all the different offerings that are out there for free. And like there are some teen mental health seminars that are coming up also as we go into May, so lots of things to take advantage of, and they're all on the website, so, which is a nice, easy tool, so thank you.
All right, I'll pass the ball to the left.
To mine, it's your left.
Yeah.
I know you have a
And-
bunch of announcements
Do I?
that you'll go.
Oh,
so
yeah,
if you
yeah.
miss any, I'll join in
Okay.
later, so back to you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, Aubrey, go.
All right, so I'll do the library. Are we gonna do slide? Okay, I just wanna make sure we're catching up here. Great picture. Library is looking forward to lots of fun in the weeks ahead. We will be out of the building with books and talks at Millington School, Lounsbury Meadow, and WRHS. Is that Watchung Hills?
Yes.
So Watchung Hills
Daughter
Regional
does
High
that.
School. I was like, yeah, well, no, I know that, but it wasn't spelled like that on here. And I was like, is this something different I should learn about as a committee member? Got it. Clear. Please find here the adult schedule for the week. Kids continue to have a story time every morning at 10:30 a.m. and either an art or a science project each afternoon at 4 p.m. Excellent. We show movies every week, Wednesday at 2 p.m., Thursday at 1 p.m. for adults. This week we also have a family movie showing on Tuesday evening. I guess that's the week coming up. hopefully. This Friday, the library is celebrating 20 years at in the Valley Road location, which is super exciting. So this Friday, April 25th, 5 p.m., cake and games. And Saturday, April 26th, the Hickory Tree concert at 11:30 and cupcake decorating will be happening, and everyone is welcome to celebrate. The Historical Society has provided some photos and documents, and we hope to celebrate all who had the foresight to create and support our great space. Super exciting. Tomorrow, we have a number of things going on. A representative from New Jersey Division of Taxation will be talking about a new combined filing option for seniors. We have an adult art class at 3:45. On Zoom, we have an author talk, a New Jersey Civil War talk, and a program from the Paint Diva about interior paint choices. Register online for Zoom links and feel free to walk in on in-person events. Next Tuesday, April 29th, we have an in-person talk about New Jersey owls. All are welcome. No registration is needed, and we have had this naturalist before, and he is informative and engaging. So very exciting. And as we turn the page into May, they're also going to have a special section, since I just learned about this, on mental health books for kids and adults. So going with that theme as we start.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Vic.
All right. Our April 23rd rec update is as follows. Saturday, April 19th, we held our annual spring egg hunt. This is our largest event, and the weather was perfect to find several thousand eggs. Thank you to our Recreation Advisory Committee, local Girl Scout troops who helped before the event and during the event, the Long Hill Chamber of Commerce, LMB Audio, our DPW, LHFAS, and LHPD. LHTV was on site, and both their video of the event and Charles Arentowitz's photos from the event are linked to our website under community/photo albums. Please check it out. Tuesday was the official Earth Day, but we always like to say, make every day Earth Day. Let's keep Oscar the Grouch at bay. Please pick up your trash. Slide 3, don't forget to register for our Car Care Ed class on Saturday, May 17th at 10:30 a.m. at the Town Hall parking lot. Learn some car basics from a licensed mechanic so you are prepared for the road. So you are prepared on the road for life's curveballs. Registration is on Community Pass, and the cost is $45. Registration?
Lettering on it, it was illegal.
That was my joke, man.
Registration is open on Community Pass for Sterling Lake. Registration by 5/31 for early bird pricing. Pricing goes up on June 1st. Sterling Lake opens on Saturday, May 24th. Red Cross classes will be held in May. Get registered now because these classes will not be offered again until the fall. May 14th is first aid. May 22nd is CPR/AED. Register on Community Pass. The cost is $35 per participant. Sterling Lake Dance, open to Long Hill residents in grades 5 through 7. $5 at the gate registration fee, plus must have signed permission slip. We need chaperones. Please call us if you can help.
We should all chaperone.
I'm good with it. I've done it before.
Could be a group
All right.
bonding.
Slide number 7, click, click, click. Snap those photos of what spring in Long Hill looks like to you and send them in. Free entry for Long Hill residents into our photography contest. Winners will be announced in June. Register by 5/31 for summer camps, and don't miss out on all the fun. And finally, slides 9 and 10, if you'd like to join our Recreation Advisory Committee, please contact us. We are always looking for new members. Remember to keep our parks clean, and while visiting our parks, take nothing but pictures, kill nothing but time, and leave behind nothing but footprints. And that concludes my recreation update. Thank you.
Well done, Ben.
Thank you. All right. Administrator report.
Yeah, Mayor, a couple things that are going on in town. Everybody's sitting, everybody prepared. Work on Northfield Avenue started this week. There will be about 2 to 3 weeks of what they call concrete and curbing work. And we're going to be working with the police department, the school, for the date for the milling and paving, but everything should be wrapped up during the month of May.
That's big news.
We have several other projects going on with New Jersey American Water, which everybody is aware of. They are in areas of that they needed DEP permitting. It took them a while to get the DEP permitting. They finally have it. So they are working in the easements in various locations of the town, doing the cleaning, then sending cameras through the pipes and doing either repairs or slip lining of the sewer lines. So that work is ongoing. We have several grants that we're working with. The Morris County Preservation Trust that we applied for a grant to do repairs on the old schoolhouse. We have a site visit on Tuesday, May 20th, and a presentation date on June 9th, which I and the architects will be at up in Morristown. We also are working with, as you guys are aware, working with the grant for the trails at Central Park. So that's being worked on. We also have a grant through the county for the CDBG for a senior bus replacement of our old bus that's constantly in need of repairs. So we're hoping to get some of those grants. So that's it, Mayor.
All right, then under discussion, I was probably going to go right back. Discussion, I was going to right back to you. There's an update on the security, New Jersey Transit security cameras.
Yeah, we do have to talk to New Jersey Transit, but I was out there with Officer Langenbach and somebody from our camera company, AVS Technologies. They gave us a quote back. I'm going through it right now. I just got it this week. But doing all the lots, having cameras on the platforms where they can see 360 degrees, having access not only to our police headquarters, but to New Jersey Transit. And the golden package, if you will, is pricey. It's around $90,000. I'm still going through it to see where everything is and how the pricing is coming in. However, I will say this, by putting cameras that view the platforms, we would be eligible for some grants from Homeland Security. So we're gonna pursue those also. So, we're gonna make the best of this. And I think we can make our commuters in every parking lot much safer and have camera coverage in all 3 parking lots and the platforms, which is key.
Thank you very much. All right, any old or new business anybody wants to discuss? Seeing none.
I wanted
ahead.
to bring up, and it kind of goes with the discussions that we've been having, is a suggestion, and Jack can be better about probably the specifics of it, is before we bring an ordinance up, that in the meetings before that happens, that we have an open discussion where members of the public can come and offer ideas or suggestions or input or comments prior to it going to ordinance form. I'm probably not doing a very good job of explaining how it used to be, but I thought that was a suggestion that would leave it more like open for ideas and suggestions and call outs prior to us creating an ordinance.
Give us an example.
Well, no, I do agree. I mean, certain ordinances have a time factor that they have to be adopted quickly. But I think in most cases, it would be better if we schedule an ordinance for discussion and then don't introduce it until the following meeting. I think that would cut out a lot of the amendments. People would know ahead of time
Discussion is
what we're doing.
what we're looking for.
Everyone would understand it before it's introduced. So I think
And the background and the, yeah.
Right.
So there would be a discussion, then it would be on the first reading, and then second discussion on the second.
Right, and I would have a draft ready for the discussion. So
And that would be
within
for
larger
everything or
forms.
just certain
Right.
things?
And it's not necessarily, like, it's, yes, it's a discussion, but it's also to garner ideas or different angles that we might not be thinking about, or why this is proposed, or things like that, to kind of troubleshoot it ahead of going into a full-blown ordinance.
I guess some ordinances are so routine, we wouldn't need to do that. But, as I said, other ordinances, time is of the essence. We couldn't do that.
And tonight was a good example, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree with you. That could have been done 40 years ago.
So if that's okay with all of you, when I submit ordinances in the future to Megan, I'll ask that it just be put on for discussion for that meeting.
I don't care.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Who makes the determination if it's time sensitive or not? Is it the mayor during agenda review?
Well, what we could do is put it on for discussion and possible
Mike.
introduction.
Yeah, come on.
I'm sorry, we could put it on for discussion and possible introduction.
I mean, however, we had the one that was with the housing from January. We didn't have time to do that because that had to be, didn't you have to have something
but I-
submitted by January 31st?
Yes.
You
But I
can't
like what
play
Jack
around.
just said, so we could discuss it.
Yes.
If for any reason it appears we need to carry it to a introduction, we can just move it to the next meeting.
Right.
Okay.
Most ordinances, Aubrey, will probably end up exactly like Jack said. Discuss, it'll go first reading that night.
But a lot of them, if they have any substance or any changes.
And in fairness,
to
one
practice-
of the nuances that changed, and I honestly don't know when it changed, we used to have open public comments after intro, first reading.
Right, I'm even
We
saying
stopped
before it's
that.
even intro,
Yeah.
like if it's a topic we have to go, whatever it is that we're about to,
I think it would be better to have that public discussion, that meeting before intro.
Yeah.
Because intro is really just an administrative thing to publish when the public hearing's gonna be.
I got you.
All right.
I
then
mean,
we'll-
the goal of that is, again, just to make sure all viewpoints are considered and then build it.
And I'll be more comfortable knowing you know what's in the ordinance before you introduce it.
Yes, please.
All right, so we can try that going forward. All right. Next, announcements. Let's see.
Thank
This Friday, 20-year anniversary party for the library being in this building, 5 o'clock, open to everybody. I think Aubrey addressed it. They're going to have some entertainment, probably some food. It's going to be a good time. Next, Saturday, senior white elephant sale, Saturday at the senior center from 9 to 3. Go down there and check it out. The Sterling Street Fair is Sunday, busy weekend, 10 to 5 on Main Avenue in Sterling. May 10th, the Sterling Elks Craft Day, 10 to 3. The Friends of the Library Shredded Day, May 10th, 10 a.m. right out here. Memorial Day Parade on Memorial Day at 9:30 a.m. We have the Millington Sterling Wet Down to the new trucks on May 31st. And if you need mulch, you want mulch, call DPW, they'll set up a delivery. Any other announcements?
I have one.
Go ahead.
Boy Scout Flower Sale.
Ooh, yeah, it's a big
256 is having their annual flower sale, May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at the Valley Mall. Look for the tents, a lot of hanging baskets, a lot of annuals, perennials, you name it, they got it. And the pricing is really good, very, very good.
And get there early because the stuff goes quick.
Get there early because
High quality.
the stuff
The
goes
quality
quick. It's
is
high quality.
amazing. Great
So
quality.
that would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week. But I assure you, if you get there on Friday, you'll have the good pickings.
All right.
And just one shout out
Yes.
to the police department, PBA 322. They had their 27th fishing derby. They had it already, but I just want to thank them. It was a nice turnout. Matt, you were there, I was there.
Yeah, there were a lot of
few
people
of us
out there
were
at 9
A lot
o'clock.
of people were there.
And also our condolences to the Gallo family.
Correct.
Yep, absolutely.
One other thing that people probably didn't realize, there was a death in town this week of a woman 110 years old, lived on Essex Street. Nobody even knew she was there. Maria Ricky lived on Essex Street, right around the corner from me, 110. She was going to be 111,
God
like
bless
very recently. And she, up until she passed away, she was still mentally with it. So we had somebody sitting in town, probably one of the oldest people alive in the state or the country, and nobody even knew about it. So
Wow.
I send my condolences to the family. But Miss Ricky, congratulations.
God bless
Says
you.
something
Rest
about
in
that
peace.
water in Lower Sterling.
Put in a good word for us up
Yeah, I'll
there.
see you in 60 years.
Did she have a commercial vehicle?
I don't know. No, she had her driveway's in the back. All right. Now, anybody have any comments, questions for the committee? Come on up, sir. 3 minutes. Thank you for waiting.
Scott Zorlo, Dougherty Avenue. For Vic, I got a good question for you. And no one else. You said several people brought it to your attention about vehicles parked, commercial vehicles. Where are they? Did they all die or disappear? There's not one person there's not one person in the room that opposed it. You said several people, not one. You didn't say if it was a man or a lady, but several people brought it to your attention.
And that's
no
the
one
truth.
came here to oppose it. Where
Listen,
are they?
Over the years, it is not uncommon for me to hear that as a complaint, especially over the past 6 that I've been on the township
Right,
committee.
no, I understand that,
So-
but where are they? If you have a complaint, if I was gonna complain it, right, I'd come here and show up and say, hey, listen to the town, voice your opinion. Everybody in the room was here for it. Now, one of these people that you said brought to your attention,
But that
Show
doesn't,
up.
but I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that necessarily means that they're not, they don't want to see, you know.
you got Millington, Sterling, Gillette, Myersville, not one person in the entire town of Long Hill, thousands of people came up to oppose it. But you said, not any other committee member here said it. You said several people, then you should give those people's names to each one of these committee members, let them know. Where
Okay.
are they?
Are
They
you
didn't
trying
show-
to
No, but
infer that I'm making it up?
No,
or-
not at all. No, but maybe, how do you know someone, all right, hypothetically, I'm a contractor, and I have my own yard, I got money, hypothetically. And I'm gonna put my competition out of business, and they park their trucks there. Hey, Vic, this guy parks his commercial vehicles there. You go to town, you get them thrown out, boom. I'm just saying hypothetically, but if I was gonna make a complaint, ma'am,
I
if you
think
have a
if we-
complaint, if you're to do something, you come here, I would show my face. If I have a disagreement about anything in the world, I would at least show my face and say, voice my
But I
opinion.
don't- I'll
Vic,
be
no
honest
one
with
did it.
you.
You said it to everybody, and
But
not one person in the town showed up.
Another thing is, I don't believe
No one
that,
complains.
I don't believe that people, other than the people that got the summonses, or, you know, like the notices, rather, not the summons, the notice, were aware of it.
It's on the Long Hill website. People know about it. I knew about it.
I don't-
I didn't receive a notice, and I knew about it. Everybody, Millington, Sterling, Gillette, Myersville, 4 towns knew about
Maybe
it.
we'll do a mass thing around town to get everybody's opinion, and then we could get them.
No, but I mean, you're
Town
the
hall,
only
I
one
know.
that said they didn't call any other committee member. They brought it to you, so I mean, you must know these people.
I do.
Where are
But
they?
I think you
No,
might
but
know
where- no, but
some
where are
too.
they? No, but where are they? It's not raining or snowing outside. I don't see any of them. But
I-
anyway,
again,
it
I-
would be an interest, Mayor, would it be simple? You do Berkeley Heights and New Providence, other towns have it. That's not us, but you put one commercial vehicle, GVW, 17,000 pounds max. So there's no CDL, can't be a dump truck, in your driveway. Problem solved.
I actually think that tonight was extremely helpful. I think everybody
No, I
pretty
heard
much.
what you said, and you were right. You said you were for the idea, you didn't want multiple vehicles in the truck, was fine. But I was just curious that people came to me. If I were you, I'd be mad at these people. Hey, I got your back. I brought it to the committee. Not one of them even showed up. That doesn't sound right. Just to let you know, it doesn't sound, makes you look bad. It does. If I complain
I don't
to you,
feel bad, but
if I
I don't feel
complain
bad.
to you, sir, if I complain to you, I personally would come and at least show up and have the respect to show it to you. As a class moral person, I would.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't.
Not for me, I would do that for you. Just be
I
honest.
and I hear you, and I understand where you're coming, but I didn't call anybody. I don't have a lot of these people's phone numbers, so it wasn't like, hey,
It's
you know,
amazing.
you
They
have
called
your
the mayor,
chance.
Nobody
To,
else out of town, they called you.
you have a chance to, come voice your concerns.
But thank you. But the 17,000 pounds, it eliminates dump trucks, CDL, tractor trailers, just one vehicle in your driveway. It basically would be vans or pickups. No harm.
Agreed. No, and I don't think.
I just feel bad that those people brought it to you. They didn't even have the class to show up in the open court when everybody else did.
Thank you. All
Got
right,
it.
no,
Thank
thank
you.
you for the weight class, we'll consider that. Thank you for coming, sir. Anybody else? Mr. Brake? Oh, it's not Mead, I thought it was Mead. Come on up, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. Thank you for everything you guys do. Chris Porter, 344 Morris Street, Sterling. 16 years ago, I moved in town with my beautiful wife over there, Joanna Florio. or Porter now. You guys put together a beautification committee, didn't you, to beautify the town?
Yes.
Okay. Going forward, you're trying to do that, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. You just recently, within the past couple of years, got a grant writer for the town, right? Starting to get grants and everything like that. Okay, very good. My street was paved 2 years ago, all right? Thank you very much. Curbing was not put in, okay? You have a street fair coming up this weekend. Multiple of my neighbors parked their trucks in their front yard of their properties, okay, up and down my street. One neighbor paved from property line to property line. Now, what I think the problem is here, that you have officials, zoning officers and so forth, that are not 100% doing their job, okay? They're not driving the municipality, they're waiting for phone calls to come in, they're not seeing the eyesores around the community and everything like that. I'm not here to go against anybody in the community, but we all invest into the community. I invested into the community, I invested into my property, we raised our children here, and I pay a lot in taxes. When I came here, I was 5,900, I'm close to 14,000 now, okay? And you have a street fair coming, you lost over 350 feet of parking on my street alone for that street fair. Is that fair to me? Is that fair to other residents? Because people are using the front of their property as parking lots?
For that one event though, right?
No, not for that one event. Every single day that they come home, they park their properties in their front yard. Now, if your neighbor across the street from you put it on their grass, they took stone and asphalt and everything like that and paved their front yard, is that legal?
I don't know.
But if they paved my street and they put Belgian block in, every property has to have a drop curb. I believe it's 12 to 15 feet of a drop curb to enter their property.
For the record, I requested that the Belgian block be put in those years ago.
But they didn't do it.
I
'cause
did, I
they said
requested
they couldn't
it.
afford it, okay? It works out to be $8 a month, $15 a month a household. There's roughly 1,600 linear feet of Belgian block that would have got installed on my property. If you factored in $30 a foot, which is a little high, you're probably around 45 to 50,000. Over 15 years, that's about $18 a month a household to do Belgian block. And you're supposed to be putting a beautification committee together to beautify the neighborhood? I think going forward, when you do projects, you need to think and do the projects 100%, just like if you would on your own household or I would on mine. That would solve a lot of the problem of people parking in their front yard. It's not just on my street, it's all on the lower barrel of you know, Sterling and parts of Milton.
And I think in the
everything
near
like that.
future, we're
Now,
gonna address it.
I'm just bringing up another thing that you say the ordinances are over 30, 40 years old. Why don't you bring up that every 3 years you have to go through the ordinances and make sure they're up to compliant for
Well,
the
the planning board's
community
doing that,
as the things change?
Planning board's
Okay?
doing
I've
that.
been a working class guy my entire life, okay? I've been in construction, I have a van, I beautified my neighborhood, my van's parked behind my house, just like the one gentleman that was a pesticide guy, he invested in bushes, everything. I'm not here, I help my neighbors out, I do everything, I'm not here to hurt nobody. But if this topic is gonna go forward, I'm just bringing some concerns to you. One, if you're gonna redo streets, think about edging the streets. Belgian block lasts for 60, 70, 100 years.
We did it on Oaks Road.
Okay?
We did it on Oaks.
So,
We should do it.
that'll solve a
Should
lot
be a
of problems with
standard.
people parking in their.
So I
front
want
of
to make
their
sure
house.
on Morris, when the town, Morris, right?
We redid it 3 years ago, right?
When it was paved, 2 years ago, right?
3 years ago.
When it was paved, we
Did not
didn't
do
put
Belgian
Belgian
block.
block in.
Correct.
And I don't know why I was told it wasn't feasible at the time, but now you got a grant writer, and I pushed for a grant writer. I came to town and I pushed for a grant writer. I said, you guys really thinking about doing this? You have a park going across the street? I've been here 16 years. We haven't even touched the flooding yet in this town. We haven't even talked about that. We haven't even tried to rectify a little bit. Nothing. We just keep
Yeah,
kicking
well.
the can. Listen, I come
still
from
have
a
the scars
small
from-
community, 1 mile by 3 mile. I dealt with the Passaic River my whole life. When I moved down here, my mother said, how is it? I said, it's like I never left, Mom. I got the Snake River, I got Main Street, I got a ShopRite that she did 30 years with.
We wanted you-
And your town was Passaic, and I grew up in Passaic.
We wanted to make you feel at home, so.
Exactly. So listen, I understand, I appreciate everything you do, your time, you volunteer your time, everything. I volunteered 12 years on the fire department, my family,
Thank you.
everything. So I get it, but we need to put a little more thought, and we need to get our people that are representing you guys, the officials, out on the street and start driving around instead of waiting for phone
I
calls.
wasn't laughing at what you said, but you just said you were on the fire company for 12 years. Millington to Sterling is definitely going to be calling you.
My family, we did over 100 years of volunteer service. where I was from.
Come on back.
All right, but I just want to thank you all for your time. But
Thank you.
Thank you.
if you're going to think about the commercial, think about people parking in the front of their property.
Yeah, I think
Thank you.
I think we can refer that to the planning board along with the commercial.
The chairman of the planning board's right there, so I'm
Yep.
sure he took a
I,
mental
th-
note.
I think there might have been some discussions about that already.
No, there have been.
All right. Anybody else from the public? Wouldn't be a meeting without you coming up.
No, I wasn't here myself.
I know, you're not getting 6 minutes.
Do I get 6?
No.
No, okay, this is not going to take long. Charles Renowitz, Millington. Early in the meeting, we had requested more voices, more input. Not only this meeting, but in prior meetings. One of these opportunities for more input was eliminated years back by the planning board, who at the leadership at the time. I'm going to ask for your help in reinstituting a period of public discussion and public comment at the planning board meetings that had been eliminated. When I served on the planning board for 3.5 to 4 years, we had public comment, open period of public comment at the end of the meeting. I would encourage you to get the current planning board to adopt this and reinstate that policy.
Chuck, can I just ask Jack to answer that question? My understanding is,
Can't
and I
force
was on the
anybody.
planning board forever, I don't think this committee has any authority to dictate to the planning board.
We can't force them to have a public
Right.
session.
We can maybe mention it.
Yes. Right.
And the chair's here, and we have a planning board member here. They've heard you.
Well, could you recommend it to them? You
we can
you
do that.
appoint some of the members to the planning board, do you not?
Oh,
Yes.
So can you recommend that we reinstitute a period for public comment so you can hear more voices in this town, as Aubrey would like to hear and others? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack.
Anybody online?
Anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone, Mayor.
Thank you. I will
Motion to
motion to
adjourn.
adjourn into exec session with no further action,
If
correct?
possible, further.
Possible. All right.
So moved.
Then I'm not part of
Second.
it. Thank you, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great
Megan
week.
corrects Matt.
We have to do that because we never know what
Oh, that's true.
all these 5 people will do.
Mike, Mike,
Guy.
Mike.
Oh, sorry.
The Township Committee is taking no further action at the 4/23/2025 Township Committee meeting. It is 9:22. Thanks, good night.